Man, I don't know what just happened. Get them on. Tell them we back on, man. We about to do this again. Y'all, let's do it, baby.
I think I messed up. Wait, I'm sure I did. Welcome to Young Elder TV, where UFOs, religions, Anunnaki, and black youth collide in a cosmic comedy. Meet Marcus, our fearless leader. He's an aspiring scientist and part-time alien enthusiast. Then there's Maya, his sister, a no-nonsense lawyer who secretly believes in ancient astronauts. Oh, and don't forget Grandma Pearl. She swears she had tea with an alien once. And finally, their quirky neighbor, Mr. Thompson, convinced he's a reincarnated god. With 3 million fans already hooked, Young Elder TV blends laughs with galactic mysteries. Ready to join the fun? Hit that subscribe button and dive into the cosmic chaos. Young Elder TV, where the stars align for comedy.
Say, messing with the audio, man. Can y'all hear me? Yo, mic check, mic check. I probably, hey, Majestic 12 was tuned in on that, man, you know. So they cut that shit. You got to go check out the Conehead movie, man, because my laptop all of a sudden it just started tripping and black shit started flashing. It was crazy. And then the shit just, like, people said they couldn't hear me. Can y'all hear now? Yo, this shit is crazy, man. See how they doing me? They do not want people to get this information. I'm telling you. But we back on, like I say, go check out the Conehead movie on the video side. You know what I'm saying? We ain't telling people what we got coming out. We got stuff, we got stuff coming out that's hot. That's hotter than everything is getting hotter and hotter. Put it like that. On the video side, as far as the black extraterrestrials. They mad because we saying we're talking about everybody's Nubian. You know what I'm saying? You see how they did us, man? That was cold right there. Am I loud and clear now? So we're gonna talk about the zoo types, man. We're gonna go on and talk about the zoo types. What is your zoo type? Right? Now keep in mind, you have omnivores who eat meat and vegetables. Because it's different categories within the zoo types. But as we break down and get into the zoo types, we got to break this part down. Hey, what up, Justin? Hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, man. We're doing it. We're bringing it to you. Right, so you got... Okay, yeah, so I'm going to get into the old type, the omnivores convert to not eat meat too. But I'm going to tell you what the blood types, how it was set up originally. The old types were the omnivores, and they did both meat and vegetables and things of that nature. All right, so let's go back. You have one type of zoo type that's herbivores, right? And they are A-type blood type. Right, you got A-type blood type. They are herbivores, and they move in herds. Now, Mark Brady, if y'all not familiar with Mark Brady, you can scroll down to behind the scenes with Tomb Ray. That's Mark Brady, one of my teachers. We haven't heard from him in a while. I think Bodie's still in contact with him. But Mark Brady used to teach us about the zoo types, right? He taught us one part of it. Then I went on to learn more and add my own stuff to it, what he was talking about. Because people didn't really listen to him. I don't think a lot of people didn't. But that's neither here nor there. But he talks about the herbivores moving in a herd. And that if you study elephants and you watch, because you got to study the land. In ancient Kemet, even over here too, we studied the zoo types, and it's different zoo types over here than it is in Africa. They might have some similar zoo types, but then it varies, right? Because it's different types of birds over there than it is over here. It's different types of animals than it is over here. Although some of the animals was over here first and migrated over there, like the camels. The camels was over here first. You can go to a study on camels, like to go back 6 billion years. The camels, 6 billion years ago, the camels was in America or Mexico or Turtle Island, right? And then they migrated over to ancient Kemet, Africa, what they call in Africa today, right? So the herbivores are these elephants, which just so happens to be the strongest animals, some of the strongest animals in the world, and they don't eat meat, right? They don't eat meat. Rhinos don't eat meat. Gorillas, these are some of the strongest creatures that exist as far as in the animal kingdom, and they don't eat meat. So we can get into that too. It's because my vegans argue that perspective of not eating meat, that it don't got nothing to do with protein and all that, because it's a lot of plants that got protein. Where you think the meat or these animals get their protein from in their system? So you gotta do that part, right? But these elephants, they move in a herd. And when they graze, what they do is the males surround the outside of the pack, and then the females are inside of it in like a circle. And then the children or the little cubs, they on the inside of it. So if a lion or something was to attack, they would have to get through the males first, and then they got a certain type of system that they run and how they move to where everybody's protected and everybody get food, everybody get a part of everything, right? These herbivores, these A-type, blood type beings, right? That eat vegetation, right? So that's a certain type of zoo type. And what happens is always one in the pack, like Mark Brady used to say, is always one in the pack that don't want to follow these rules, don't want to follow this system, this order that they had set up to protect everybody and keep everybody from getting into harm, right? They end up getting eaten by the adversary. One of the words, the adversary. They end up getting eaten because they want to wander off outside of that order that they set up. Well, okay, you young one, stay right here in the inside, eat right here. We got everything right here in the middle for you. Don't go outside of this circle, because if you do, you're gonna get bit or eaten by some of these lions, and we can't really protect you like we want to protect you because you wandered off. But still, like I say, it's always somebody in the pack that don't know they part of this order or this zoo type, and they wander off, and boom, now they getting put in jail. Boom, they wander off, now they getting devoured by the enemy because they didn't stay inside of Big Mama's house and Big Mama's rules that she set up. Because Big Mama run with Big Mama starts the A clan, and that's why they use the elephant for the matriarchs. They use the elephant to represent the matriarch because of that, the philosophy that the elephants go by as far as how to survive as a family in a pack. A lot of this shit might go over people's head. We'll get into the O. We'll get into the O. We're building up to that part. But the elephant, that's how they move, right? And so, like I say, somebody might wander off and boom, he got. And they can be in reference and scenario to anything that happened to us as a people when we don't stick together. And then that one that wanders off outside of what we got going on, and he get took out by the police, or he get he get killed. That happened to a lot of our family members. They wandered off outside of that circle, right? Then you have, after that, you have what you call the carnivores. Right, these are meat eaters, B blood type. Go study tigers. Tigers have B blood type. Go study Hindus. They got B blood type. Meat eaters. B blood types are meat eaters. And keep in mind the tiger connection with in India and all that. It's the Bantu tiger. It's a whole connection with it, right? But these tigers are these carnivores. They move like this. Because you got vultures out here too, right? Shout out Lenny, man. We'll get into man. I wish you would hear your question, but we'll get into it. I go back to it at the end of this when I say this part. Get your question. It said what? Yeah, okay. I get into it. Shout out Lenny, man. Dead stock. Yeah. So the carnivore, they hunt as a pack. Like you might have tigers or lions. They will gang up and hunt together. And then once they get the prey down, the order, because they had an order too. even though the carnivores got an order too. It's more of a monarchy system where the king the head alpha male, because they got what they call alpha males in these packs. So some of y'all, some of the zoo types or the tribes have alpha males or leaders or like the strong one of the tribe. That's kind of like how the Crips roll. The Crips had like Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington. They were beating up everybody. They was the swole cats where nobody want to mess with. I remember somebody told a story about Raymond Washington and them was going around taking everybody coats. They used to like to wear these leather jackets back in the day because they got it from the Black Panthers. Really, the Black Panthers started to wear the black leather jackets with the combat boots, with the hat, right, with the hat, the military hat laying to the side, and that's how they used to roll. And when Tookie and them came out, Tookie used to wear the overalls with the boots. But then they got the boots and the leather jacket thing with the black glasses thing from the Black Panthers, right? Yeah, your elephant state A blood type. We just broke that down just a minute ago. If you late coming in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Okay, so y'all used to take these dudes' coats, and then one day it was another dude from another gang that was supposed to be an alpha male because they, like I say, these carnivores they roll as alphas males in their clans. Right, and or leaders or chiefs or this that, right, and so he was like another leader from another gang called the Corner Pocket Crips, and Tookie them, Big Took them, and well he didn't go holler at Big Took, he went to holler at Raymond. Raymond them was standing on the corner with because his cousin went to the school that Raymond them went to school with, right? So Raymond them took his cousin coat. So he called his cousin from another gang who's supposed to be an alpha male, right? And he's supposed to come over and gonna check the nigga that took the coat, right? So when he get over to check the cat that took the coat, he rolled by and see it, and his cousin, he said, point him out. He said, point him out, which one is it, right? So the dude pointed at Raymond Washington, right? And when he pointed at Raymond, the dude said, oh, y'all, that's Raymond Washington. I'm good, y'all, man. That's his coat. He pulled on off. So Raymond Washington must have been a bigger alpha male than he is. That's why if you look in some clans, like the ram is very territorial. Some zoo types are very territorial, and you can even correlate that with the Zodiac, right? The Zodiacs, when you get into the Taurus and the Capricorn and my Virgos, which are the ground signs. My ground signs, because your zoo type is also connected with your sign of the month you're born in, which is why they got a lot of zoo types in the Zodiac, and it's a connection between zoo and Zodiac. It's a connection, right? But like I said, they move as the strongest one, only the strong survive, that type of thing. Because if you study carnivores when they cubs are born, sometimes some tribes leave let their cubs to fend for themselves. And then some tribes protect their cubs till they get a certain age, then they send them off. You got to go and get on. Right? You got to go and get on once you get a certain age, like the birds. And we'll get into the bird clan too, though, which is one of the zoo types. But we're building up to that. But that's how these carnivores roll. And then so they'll hunt together. And then once they get the prey, usually traditionally it's the king or the alpha male comes in and gets his cut first, and then following that, everybody else following the alpha male's old lady, and then the rest of the pack. They would go in and tear, and then sometimes they'll fight over it. Carnivores fight over the meat, right? So that's the type of mentality that some people have out here. Some of our people still got this beast's mentality where they work together for a little while, and then when they get to the final prize, they'll fight each other. And that's why groups never work. These in the music industry, that's why these groups never work. All the groups that you ever heard of, they always break up. All right. Or they always lose a member. The 5 Heartbeats is always a problem. Go watch the 5 Heartbeats. The Temptations is always a problem with a member. Even the Migos or the newer groups, right? That's how. some of the older groups like during the 90s, like the Candy Girl, or what's that? Somebody dropped that name of it with it's with Bobby Brown them in there. I think of the name, it's over the E, I think. Those different groups, they always broke up because of the carnivore mentality. The meat eating dog eat dog. That's why they always use animal references in nowadays when they say certain catchy wise quotes like birds of the feather flock together. Right? That's in reference to that. Yeah, New Edition. New Edition didn't make it. Why? Because they had the carnivore mentality. They hunted together, they worked together. Then when they get to the prize, the money, right? Because the money is the root, you know what I'm saying, of the evil. Money is the root, man. I'm telling you. And the lack of it can be the root too. You know what I'm saying? The lack of money. I'm telling you. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan, you name them, Public Enemy, you name all the groups. All the good groups that were powerful in their day, like NWA, right? You remember all these groups? They all broke up because they was under the carnivore mentality. They weren't moving in a herbivore mentality. And usually the industry has play a part in that with influencing them to break certain groups up. That's how they do, man. The Jackson 5, they was all brothers. Jackson 5. They wanted to get Mike off to himself. These guys, Quincy Jones and them. Right? So it's the animal, it's the beast's mentality when you're talking about the zoo type. You can see it in certain how people move. They move like certain animals. They live like certain animals. They got the certain animal lifestyle. Some people even tell you, I'm an animal. Yes, I'm an animal. You know what I'm saying? Right, I'm an animal. And so this is what we get, man. Then you got, I'm gonna take some questions in a minute. And then you got the omnivores who are meat eaters and vegetables and fruit eaters. And with them, they move similar to a little bit of both. They have incorporated a little bit of both ways that they move. That's why I'm telling you, most of us are old type. Most of y'all are old type that's listening. And so as part of the ascension, the old type can eat meat, but as part of the ascension, the old type has stopped eating meat. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you gotta cook something, that means you're speeding the vibration of it up. Because when you cook something, everything that's made of molecules, and when you heat something up, you speed the molecules up. It's similar to in the wintertime when that's coming up, people's tires are gonna get low in their car. And this is the reason for this is because the molecules begin to slow down and jam tight, packed together and become solid. Because there's only 3 states of existence. Well, it's really more than it's actually 9 states, but they want to keep you to that 3. They want to limit you to that solid liquid gas. They want to limit you to that person, place, and thing, right? They want to limit you to that God, the devil, but they don't still tell you what's in between that. And they want to limit you to 3 here, right? But it's really 9 states of existence, and we'll give them one extra one, which they was pondering on, and then we'll leave the other 5 till later, and we'll come back later and get that to them. We're gonna let them ponder on the other 5, but it's 9 states of existence, and they tell you about the main 3, which is solid, liquid, and a gas. And then they say, okay, well, we figured out that there's another state, and that this state is the gelatin state, or the pseudo, because you got a lot of pseudo guys out of here. And what pseudo really means is we don't know what it is, so it's pseudo, right? We can't really tell you exactly what it is. That's not a solid, and it's not a liquid. It's neither nor is it gas, but it's in between a liquid and a gas. It's in between a liquid and a solid. So Jello would be in between like a liquid and a solid, or like gel, or like something like hand sanitizer, which is like when you put it on your hands and rub it in, it goes to a liquid form. But long as it maintains a certain temperature frequency, it stays in a pseudo state, what they call semi-solid. It's another word they use for it, right? Because we watching the chat, man. So you come in tripping, you come in the kingdom because we Tylers and we go out the door. So if you come in tripping, we gonna block you, and then we go back and listen to the watch the chat later after the show, and we see anybody that made anything that they look like some demonic activity, we grab them by the collar and we pull them out the kingdom. We bounce you right up out of a news kingdom, right? When you come up in here tripping. So, be cool. If you're going to be a clown, just sit back and relax. I'm just saying. So, yeah, we're talking about 3 states of existence. And then it's another state, like I say, that is semi-solid, which is like Jello. So it's beings that exist in all of these states. It's beings that exist in the gas state. It's beings that exist in the liquid form, right? You call them molecules, you call them atoms, right? And then you can break the atom down into more detail on that. But we still go on with the zoo types. I gotta keep an eye on the chat. I don't got my food for thought. So what happens is we gotta move as a tribe. And that's what I was talking about. I gotta go back. Okay, so you got different quotes out here, like birds of the feather flock together. You got like a bird in a basket is better than a bird. I mean, a bird in the hand is better than one bird in the hand is better than 2 birds in a basket. So you got these different quotes when in reference to animals. Another thing, in ancient Kemet or in Africa, they got a tape that I put out. They actually made me take it down. It showed how the Sandsman find water in the desert. You got to Google it. You got to look this up, man. Look up how the Sandsman found water in the desert. These people learn how to survive off of watching the animals. And I put a book out called The Language of the Birds book. You want to get my 8 books? I actually writing. I think I'm on my 3rd book now. I done finished 2 books. I'm finna be finished. I already really finished the 3rd book too. I just got to go back and proofread it. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be 3 books, like in like 2-3 weeks. So that's how we coming, right? So when I get this other program tomorrow, I'll be able to start putting the books out too with the tapes. So and because we could just talk. The reason why we can do the book so fast, I could just talk like I'm doing now, and then it just write everything down and put pictures. AI put pictures and everything with it. So it's like this new technology, right? Is how so I ain't gonna give everybody my game right now. We're gonna just let people ponder on how we doing it. But I'm gonna tell you this: it's a lot of work. It takes me about 4 or 5 days to do them tapes that you're seeing that's coming out, because I gotta use 5 different programs. I use like 5 or 6 different programs to regenerate the images, all it. So it's like a lot of work. So it takes me like 4 or 5 days. That's why y'all ain't really been hearing from me. I'm actually working on another tape right now that's gonna probably come out either tomorrow or the next day. That's gonna be hot. Another banger. But we don't want to get sidetracked. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're just not coming in. We on the groove. We on the move. We also want to talk to you about the different how y'all get the different zoo types. Is that a lot of y'all came here as animal spirits and came here as a spiritual development to develop into living souls, right? So that you can evolve your spirit and your soul in the universe. So a lot of y'all came here as feline beings. You are part of the feline beings. That's your connection. You are part of the Greys. Some of y'all are Riskians. Some of y'all are Natharus. Some of y'all are Germanian, Coneheads. And there's several other Nubian races we about to introduce. We ain't gonna tell y'all, but when we drop it, they'll say, "Oh yeah, okay." And then you'll see other people, if they put it out, what's happening. So we can't gonna get nobody more game no more ahead of time, so they can steal our shit, and then don't give us no credit, just like they did Doc. Hey, free Malachi Z York, man. And for the cats, yeah, some niggas gorillas, some niggas dogs. Now, we're gonna put that tape out too, because Doc talk about that in the Holy Tablets, where he talk about these dog beings who are, they really called the Dewanies, right, who live underground, like they look like porcupine looking beings, they came up to the surface and mixed in with the humans as well. And this created a thing called a thing where these beings, they grew hair all over their skin. So a lot of us got that mix. The Dewarnies. Is there extraterrestrials who can fly? Yes, there's extraterrestrials who can fly. They call the Dragon reptilians. And let me tell you, you don't want to see now one of them in person. You don't want to see no Dragon reptilian in person. Those beings are some ugly, stanky jokers. They smell like urine and like they stink. They smell like butt crack and urine, like a strong ammonia urine type smell. And they're very telepathic and they can move extremely fast. I'm telling you, the ones that's the bad guys, and they can fly. They got wings like a bird. Yeah, they stinky, man. They smell like butt crack, and they like the smell of fear. That's what they eat. Some extraterrestrials, they eat fear. When they say fear on you, boy, you like a seasoned steak, boy. They bite right down until you juicy. You juicy. It says all. It says so. Are all or a couple species or animals? I don't get. Hey, George Jackson, could you rephrase the question? I don't get what you're saying. Who are the Felicians? They are the Proconians. Like who are they? Well, all right. So the Proconians really not at war. They just really was helping the Anunnakis out. A lot of, keep in mind, it's 400 different species on Nibiru. 144 captains, representatives from different around the world. We're about to really break that down too in the next tape. Right, that's going to be broke down in the next tape. So the Proconians is one of them species, and they got representatives on Nibiru. A lot of people participated in this Project Blue Rock here. Like I said, Earth is a planet that's got a lot of different species that most planets don't got that many species like that. Most planets may have 25 or less species. They have like 2 or 3 main races, a pet race, and probably some food race that they eat to keep the food chain going. That's another thing of like the part of the food chain, because supposedly these carnivores hunt herbivores. You got to keep that in mind. So if you're a herbivore and you don't follow those pack rules that I told you about that represent the elephant and the matriarch and Big Mama's rules of how the elephants move in a pack, right? If you don't move like that and you get caught outside by the carnivores who are supposed to do what they do to you. It's like the other day a dude asked me, he said, man, I wish I could walk up to the devil and ask him, why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? I said, hey, man, the devil will tell you if you walk up to the devil and say, man, why you being the devil? Why you doing what you're doing? He going to say, man, because that's what I do. I'm the devil, right? The devil can't be nothing but himself, right? He going to probably say, man, you crazy? That's like it must be a trick question. The devil probably say that's a trick question, right? And the devil can come in all forms. The devil is whoever is considered like your adversary. So that could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can be the devil. They might not be the devil to somebody else, but they might be the devil to you. Right? That part. I'm telling you. Anybody can be the devil. It says, I'm trying to make sure them killer clowns ain't coming in here to send. They know they got their AI. They make comments and shit. They got AIs that making comments now. They created the AI create fake pages to come on in and taunt people. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole bunch of stuff to try to stop us. They got dummy pages. They got about 5 young elder pages now. And then when I already post my stuff, they put it under somebody else's name. That's the type of stuff they doing. You notice how they doing us. They don't want you to be free. Right? So like I said, the carnivores are like the police or this or that. Right? The police, anybody that can be adversaries towards the type of zoo type you are. the type of, and like I say, most of us, and like the old type really can move as the herbivores too. Like we move really, to be honest with you, we moved as herbivores as a people. We moved in herds, we moved in tribes, and we had a certain philosophy that protected everybody as long as we follow those certain rules. The mob do it, man. The mob still do it. That's why Doc said he admired the mob. He admired the mob for their loyalty and their structure, right? They have a boss, they got an underboss. The boss was like in our clan, was like Big Mama, right? The underboss was Big Daddy, right? Then you had the concierge. Then you had the soldiers, like with the uncles, you know what I'm saying, the nephews, the big guys. Then you had, the people that was doing all the work and taking care of the kids and all that. We had a certain type of philosophy, which they broke up when they brought in, we had this all the way up into the 60s, really. We had it all the way up into the 60s, and then they brought in crack. When they brought in crack, that cracked us back. They cracked our back. Right, because what it did is it took the fathers out, and it even destroyed some of the. It pretty much destroyed us. Like crack was a weapon of mass destruction. Anybody that disagree with that is full of shit. I'm telling you, man. Crack was a weapon of mass destruction. I'm telling you, it was mad scientists. It was extraterrestrial involvement, whether people know it or not. Because humans didn't ever know nothing about mixing no damn baking soda with that shit. They ain't know nothing about that. Who told them about it? Ashtar Command. Now we can get into it because it's all tying together to the zoo type. But Ashtar Command, the leader of Ashtar Command, name is Shiran, and another one of his names is Scotty, right? And what do they say when they freebasing? They say, "Beam me up, Scotty," right? And you can go back to Star Trek and all that, because you got to keep in mind Star Trek is based on Ashtar Command. The symbol that they got on their shirt, even the ship that they fly is Ashtar Command. And the USSR hooked up with Ashtar Command. That's how they end up getting out of space. Well, yeah, it's many different blood types, but they tell you that your universal type, your blood type is what? Universal blood type. What does that mean? They put the word universe there. When they tell you because everybody ain't got the same blood type, but what do they tell you about the O type? That's universal blood type. The mother Sophia Stewart got a different perspective on it though. I'm gonna end up getting her own sooner or later, but we got tied up, man, with a lot of stuff going on with the different stuff that we putting together. Yeah, like another thing too about the DNA, influencing the DNA. It's like this, man. What we got to realize is that DNA is more advanced than we know. Doc was going in on it a little bit on a tape that he put out where he said that when you swap, even when you kiss somebody, you're swapping DNA. When you make love and be around people for a certain amount of time, you're swapping DNA. And he was saying that, and I noticed this when he was saying this, and I looked around and just did, field research. And I noticed that people that have been together for like 20 years, they start to look alike. Man, you ever see that? You ever see when somebody they've been together for 20, 40 years, they look alike. They could be passed for brothers and sisters. This is because they've been swapping DNA for so long over the period of time that their DNA intercoded with each other. And I'm gonna tell you, the strongest DNA always overdo the other one, and it's usually the mitochondria. And I'm gonna tell you this, and the man can agree with this. Then we'll talk about the women, and it's all tying with the zoo type, right? When you get with a girl and you be with that girl for a while, and y'all start swapping DNA, that your mitochondrial DNA is gonna go into her mitochondrial DNA. And it's going, whatever the weak spots in her DNA is going to overlay into her DNA. And I bet you, after a while, that girl will start acting something similar to your mother. She'll have some traits as your mother. Because they say that men pick women similar to their mother, especially if they had a good mother. They pick women similar to their mother. I'm going to tell you, it's more to it than that. It's because when you get with that girl and you be hanging around her and start kissing on her and doing all kind of swapping DNAs with her, After about 90 days, some of your mother's traits start to go into her, and she'll start to exhibit some things that your mother do. And then you say, "Oh yeah, I like it." You probably say it in your head. You might not say it out loud. That, "Oh yeah, my mother does that." Right? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this is the facts. Like for me, based on what Doc said, and then based on me just sitting thinking about it, brainstorming on it. Uh, the same thing with the males. Your dad DNA will go a little bit into that male, and that dude will exhibit some of the things that your dad do. You say, "Oh yeah, he kind of like I like how my dad, especially if you had a good dad." You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. So you got to be careful who you swap DNA with. If you swap DNA with a crazy fool, now you might have your kids come out as crazy fools, and your behind end up 10 years later as a crazy fool because you swap DNA with a crazy fool. You got to keep in mind about that, man. I'm telling you. And Doc talk about that, especially in Islam. In Islam, they had strict guidelines on who you got with based on the DNA and shit. They got to check your parents' DNA, check everybody back. You know what I'm saying? A couple generations to make sure that they don't get that particular defect or whatever it is in they particular chromosomes. So you might be swapping DNA with a gorilla, and you ain't no gorilla. That ain't your zoo type. You might be a lion zoo type. You got to swap, and then you wonder why your kids come out half crazy and they don't got the same format. Now some of the stuff is what they call selective breeding, where it's an upgrade, where different zoo types do mix. That does happen, and it ain't a bad thing that different zoo type. You might be a feline, you mix with a gorilla, or you might be a gorilla mixed with a snake nigga, a reptilian, right? Some niggas mixed with reptilians. They got that reptilian genetics, and you wonder why he only do one thing. And they say like that's why they say the apple don't fall far from the tree, right? Because you passing certain types of traits. If his daddy wasn't shit, it's most likely it's a high chance based on the genetics he ain't gonna be shit. But it's the thing. You can alter your DNA, because DNA can be altered. You can alter your DNA yourself. You don't need to go to a laboratory or none of it. You can alter your DNA right now, because the N in DNA really stands for now. The now alternative. The direct now alternative. Right? So based on what you do now, you can alter your DNA. They really been screwing us over by the food they give us, because they know that food that we eat can alter our DNA, because plants got their own DNA, and the plant is part of our DNA. And when we eat this food, it can alter our DNA. That's why they do what they call GMO, and they alter the genetics of the plant. When we eat that shit, it's gonna alter our genetics, because we already conducive to what the plant was. But now this ain't no plant no more. This is something else. Like Mother Sophia Stewart said, if it don't have a seed, it don't have a soul. And that we weren't supposed to eat things without a soul. That's what she said. That if it don't have, like she said, what is this GMO? Because I talked to her probably like about a month or two ago, and we was on the phone for like 3 hours, and she was really going in on that them GMOs, and saying that they don't got a seed. It's not real. It don't have life to it. It's just a clone or avatar. It's not something that got life, and we don't supposed to eat things that don't got life. And that she was going in on that. So I'm telling you, man, we gotta, like, it's hard, but I'm gonna tell you, it's so hard to get good food and everything, being that we got to go to them. Most time we got to go to them to get to their grocery stores, and so everything in that joint is GMO, even though they got organic on it. And then the meat now, you can't even trust it. You can't even trust the meat no more. I'm telling you, man, you got to kill it. You ain't kill it yourself. That's what I'm saying. If you're an omnivore, if you moving with the old pack, or you moving with the carnivore pack, because some niggas carnivores, some niggas wolves out here. That's why in the Bible, it makes reference to different animal zoo types. It calls us, the children of Israel, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now, I know why they use the word lost there, because a sheep could get lost without its shepherd. You got to study sheeps. No, a sheep is not an independent animal. The sheep is actually one of the dumbest animals on the planet, right? Unless they got their shepherd with them. The shepherd to guide them to the water, to the dry pastures, to protect them from the wolves, right? Because you got some wolves out here in sheep clothing. I'm telling you, man. And then you got the goat, right? But they refer to us as the lost sheep of the house of Israel, trying to implying that we are lost and we're dumb. Why are we lost and we're dumb? Because we don't know. A donkey knows his master's crib, but my people don't know me. So we didn't know about Inky. We didn't know about Enlil. We didn't know about the Natharus. People didn't come to tell us about these people. Our ancestors, who are extraterrestrials, who are high level and been running shit for quite some time, for billions of years. Some of y'all remember being on another ship, Nubaru, when you watched the journey, the tapes we put out called Journey of the Mothership, Nubaru. Y'all remember those tapes. But then you got a goat. You got that they reference a goat in the Bible, right? A goat is an independent sign. You got my Capricorn. Shout out my Caps. All my Caps in the building. Right? You got the Capricorns are my goat sign, who are independent animals, right? My Virgos can also tie in with the Caps. And my Tauruses, who are all my ground signs, right? My ground signs can tie in with this, right? So that goat is an independent animal. They like to be on by themselves. They can really thrive by themselves, and they can really hold shit down by themselves. But they like to take care of people, hold the fort down, and people can come in the fort long as they, don't upset their boundaries and the territory of my ground signs and my Caps, right? And my Tauruses and my Virgos, right? Long as they don't violate that space that they got, they can be cool and they'll be good friends with my ground zoo types. So how do we find most of y'all? You can get it based on what month you're born in. Now my Gemini zoo type is you could tie in with the Leo beings, right? The Leo beings, the Geminis, and you could tie in with my Phoenix. You got the Phoenix signs, which is my Sag. The Phoenix connect with the Sagittarius, and we'll get into that. I got a whole tape on that. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I want to because I don't want to go into too much of the signs, because I got another tape coming out on it, part 12. I'm probably gonna do that sometime this week. But like I say, I want to get into my Sages, my Scorpios, my Sag is the fire, my Aries, Sag, and Leos are fire, and my Scorpions, my Pisces, and my Cancers are the water. And my air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and what's the other air sign? You got Aquarius, Gemini, and Libras. My Libras, right? So my Sags, they more of your zoo type is more. You can have a lot of guys, gorilla zoo type. You got Bear Clan. You got the Bear Clan on the land. You got the Gorilla Clan, right? The Black Gorilla Clan. You got the Bear Clan. So some people are part of the Bear Clan. A lot of my Muskokie is the Bear Clan. A lot of them are Bear Clan. My dad and them from the Bear Clan. My mother and them from the Bird Clan. The bear and the lion and the bird. And so even my grandmother and them, like my grandmother, she Williams, but my her mother is a bird. She birds. Her last name Bird. So and they look like birds. My other grandma, her name was Nano Wynn. She was a Wynn. She was a Muskokie or Washita, and her name she looked just like a cat. She looked just like a cat, man, and she had like about 15 cats. I'm telling you, man, she looked just like a cat, like these feline beings. When you start to look at these feline types, because I was saying that all these different extraterrestrials, 23 different races came here as part of the genetical experience to create these, and they had to create these certain types of bodies so that when they come in as a spirit, that they can be harnessed and be in one of these bodies. Because if the genetics for these avatars didn't have they particular genetics inside of the DNA, they couldn't come in the body. So they had to mix all these different species as part of the Project Blue Rock, so that these different spirits, these different animal spirits, like the feline beings, who some of y'all are feline beings. I'm telling you, man. You just don't remember. And people can say I'm crazy all they want. They can say y'all making everything good. Some of y'all are these Leo beings. You are a lion. You got the personality. Why you think that shit, those zodiacs line up when they tell you about a certain sign? Like if I was to tell you about the Leos are stubborn. The Leos can be stubborn, but that depends on what perspective. That depends on who perspective, because the Leos will tell you. Like some Leos will tell you, well, I ain't stubborn. And the reason why they say that is because a Leo might come to ask you for help, and it's rare. It's rare if they do, because they like doing shit by themselves. But if a Leo come and ask you for help, they really need that help. They really need that goddamn help. I'm talking about like it's the last result almost. If a Leo came to ask you for help, and then if you don't give it to them, if you don't help them, they'll say, all right, screw you then. I'm going to do it myself anyway. And they'll go off and do it themselves, just to prove to you I don't need you anyway. Right? So that's how Leo is. But so it depends on what perspective. They might say, oh, they stubborn, but it depends on the perspective. It says, what is it about the Chinese Zodiac? I don't know too much about the Chinese Zodiac. I'm glad you said something about that. I'm gonna write that down and go look into that. The Chinese Zodiac. I don't know too much about that. I wonder if it's got to be connected to the Dendorian, because, like I say, just tracing back some of the information that I already got. The Shin dynasty is really the Sands people. The Sands people are really the original agents. They migrated to that land, and I'm pretty sure they was in the land with the Twa. The Twa had the calendar, the Dendorian calendar. That same calendar got taken all the way over to here. Or it could, like people say, oh, it came from over here first, right? It don't matter. We could say it came from over there, over here, but I'm just making a point that the Twa man had that calendar, the Dendorian calendar, which was actually put together by Ptah, who was actually Enki, right? Enki put, because Zechariah Stitchin even mentioned it in the lost books of Enki, where he said that Murdoch and Enki went to the moon and spent like months on the moon. And that what they did is they were sitting there mapping out the time frame on Earth, like how the moon moved, how it moved through the 12 different star constellations, all that. Enki writing all that down, him and Murdoch. And then they brought back, and then that's what became what you know as the Dendorian calendar in the ancient Kemet, because ancient Kemet was Enki's domain, right? And the Twa man took that, because Ptah was one of their leaders, and that was really Enki, right? And they took that calendar, and then it then becomes the Mayan calendar. The Mayans and the Twa was the same people. I put that a tape out like that, man. They tried to shut me down. I put a tape out called the Mayans and the Twa are the same people. They tried to shut me down, just like they just did cut me off on this damn Conehead tape that we just put out. The Mayans and the Twa are the same people. The Hopi and the Dogons are the same people. You can look at the culture. Look at how the Hopis build their house. Look at how the Dogons build their house. It's the same damn people. Look at how the Hopis dress. Look at how the Dogons dress. Look at the Kachina dolls, the cross between the two dolls. Listen to the storylines of what the Hopi tell about the extraterrestrial storyline and the Dogon storyline. It's the same damn storyline. It's the same people. Oh yeah, shout out my Sagittarius. Now my Sagittarius are good guys, man. They fire signs. They hard workers. My hard workers. They pay attention. My Sagittarius sit back and watch. You know, Sagittarius are good secret holders. They can keep secrets. They can sit there and hold water. Sagittarius can hold water. A Pisces can hold water, but it don't start talking about their shit, because they'll unload their water. I'm telling you. My Sagittarius, they cool, man. Don't get no Sag fired up now. A Sag will tell you about your god doggone self, boy. I'm telling you. Tell you stuff you probably don't even know. I'm telling you about yourself. Call you out, put you on blast, tell the truth and shame the devil. My Sages. My Aquariuses, man, my Aquariuses, man, they good people. They just too friendly, man. My Aquarius is too friendly. I'm telling you, man. They too friendly and they can get tricky on you if you try to keep them in the box. Yeah, my Libras are cool, man. They laid back, they funny. My Libras are funny guys, man. You ain't gonna be boring with a Libra. Long as you don't try to contain them. You know what I'm saying? Keep them in a container. Them Aquarius sneaky, ain't it? Moon goddess. Them Aquarius, they sneaky, boy. And they some selfish type people. Now, most of the air signs, a lot of the air signs are selfish, though. But the Aquarius is the most selfish one out of all the air signs. I'm telling you, bro. Especially when it come down to money, they ain't gonna tell you how much money they got. They ain't gonna tell you, man. Aquarius will have $1 million, and they be like, "Oh, you ask about my money? Oh, I ain't got but a couple dollars on it. Ain't got but a couple dollars." Man, how much money you got, man? I don't got but a few dollars on me. What you talking about? What you need? I'm telling you, man. I'm Aquarius. I'm telling you. But them Tauruses, they can be like that too. But a Taurus will if they fuck with you, they'll let you get it because they ain't gonna be tripping because they steady get money anyway. Caps the same way, Sag the same way. About how the Sag gonna want their money back though, because Sag gonna be like, it depends on what you tell them. Now, if you tell a Sag, oh, I'm gonna pay you this back, oh yeah, Sag gonna want his money back. Now, if you don't tell them I'm gonna pay you back, the Sag already, when the Sag give it to you, they'll be already say, okay, I ain't getting this back. But if he do give it back, it's good too. You know what I'm saying? But if you say you gonna give it back to, if you say something to a Sag, you got to stand on what you say. They ain't going for it. I'm telling you. You better, if you tell a Sag, if you tell your son, I'm taking you tomorrow when you get out of school to go get some ice cream, nigga, he gonna remind you on this shit. He ain't gonna forget about that. And then he gonna say, if you didn't do it, man, you ain't like, man, he gonna make you feel a certain type of way. He probably don't do this disrespectful, but he gonna make you feel a certain type of way about not getting him that ice cream. I'm telling you, man. So where you gonna be like, damn, boy, I'm gonna take this boy to go get this goddamn ice cream. I'm telling you. That's how Sag is. They'll burn you, boy. They'll burn you in a good way. They'll keep the Sag gonna be the one that keep everything in motion. They're gonna keep everything going. My Cancers now. Let me get on my Cancers. My Cancers, they are some of the greatest people in the world because they got a big ass heart and they'll give you the shirt off their back if you really need it. If they really, you can crack it. Man, look, my Cancers, y'all gotta be careful because y'all can get taken advantage of because they're mostly sweethearts. Good people. They'll do it for the whole world. They'll give it to the whole world. If they could. So if you got a Cancer, that's a good, and it's a good Cancer. That's a good, and that just sound funny, right? Now that they call it cancer, right? It sound funny, but my Cancers are my water signs, and they are big givers. They are big. They are people that if they got it, they are share. They are big sharers, and they are lovers, but they can turn on you too, though. If they see you crazy and you playing them or you doing something, they give you chance after chance. But they see you crazy, they'll cut you off, and they will really cut you off. They will cut you off, and they will really cut you off. I mean, like you don't exist no more. That type of part. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you had to be crazy if you want to treat me bad, good as I am to you. You know what I'm saying? Good as I am to you, you got to be a goddamn maniac. You got to be a demon. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't do nothing but show you love. I ain't do nothing but give. And she gave you the shirt off my back. Damn near. That's a Cancer right there, boy. I'm telling you. My dad a Cancer. I'm telling you. And my my Cancers, man, y'all gotta be careful. Don't let nobody take advantage of you. because of how you got that soft, that nice side, but you also got that. I'm telling you, man, that's another person. That's one sign you don't want to get pissed off because they so nice. Cancer, I don't tell them what the hell they'll do. It ain't no telling, man. It ain't no telling, because I ain't really never seen a cancer blow up, but it's just really like ain't no telling what would happen if a cancer just saw just go crazy on you. It's rare, but like I say, because they try to avoid, they usually can avoid it. Yeah, so Aries, we got the Aries, right? My Aries are my fire guys, and my Aries, they pop off. You know what I'm saying? They go out and start it first. I'm telling you, man. What I'm gonna tell you about the Aries. If you say you won't smoke with an Aries, they best might pull up and knock on your door. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's a crazy. Hey, narcissists, right? My cancers, they can get like that they can be crazy if you don't do them right. They can be a narcissist. My Aries, they'll pull up on you, man, knock on your door. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's that you talking? You said you was gonna do what now? You know what I'm saying? I wish a nigga would like a goddamn log cabin. I'm telling you, boy, them goddamn Aries will fight like a mug. They'll pull up at your job and bust you up in your head. You know what I'm saying? They'll bust you in your head broad daylight in front of the police. Man, they don't give a damn. Once they got it on their mind, oh, this guy won't want to deal with the Aries. He want to play with the Aries. Man, they some crazy jokers. I saw Aries run a girl over in the car, man. I'm telling you. Oh, you say you want smoke? Pull up, run her over on camera. You know what I'm saying? On camera, live TV. Tell you, man. Goddamn Aries crazy, man. But they good people. When they down, that's the type of beings they are, though, because they ride for you, right? So if you're Aries, if you with an Aries and they ride for you, nigga, they'll bust somebody's head behind you. I'm telling you, they'll pop off. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, them Aries ain't no joke. They're my fire signs. My we got weight off on another topic, but we'll come back on this thing right here. But we got my caps. I'm finna get y'all to lay down in a minute. My boys gotta get ready to lay down. It says, close that door for me, Hakeem. This whole yeah, my Geminis, man. You know, I'm a Gemini, man. My Geminis is good people, man. They got big hearts too, like the Cancers. And the Geminis can be tricky too, though, because the Gemini has to play both sides. And hold on. Hey, man. Yo. Y'all, we about to get ready to get off, y'all. Hey, y'all, hit me back, man. I gotta put these boys to sleep, get them ready for do their thing tomorrow. Peace.